Hello everybody, here's Etienne from Sviteco, dashboard services for Internet of Things companies. Today I'm going to show you in this video how you can easily create some visuals from your data in DGLux5, which is a technology used by Sviteco. So let's get started. So we are in this interface, which I introduced you in a previous video, which is where we are designing dashboards. So on the left side, that's where we are going to focus first. We have the data part, so where we see the data come from our devices. For today, as an example, I connected my Android phone to the system. So here we see in downstream Android, a list of devices, and my device is appearing here. So here we see automatically all the set of data which are coming from my cell phone and which I can use in my visual. So we have a battery status, battery level, whether the charger is connected or not, my location, the light level, the information on recognized speech, and the status of the screen. So we can right away see that, so I'm with my cell phone right now, that if I'm turning it on, like the screen will turn on. Based on the way I orientate my phone, the light level will evolve. Okay, if I put it down like this, it goes back to 0. And the battery level is as well, evolving constantly. So here we have the data which we can use. At the level of the device, if we do right click, we'll see all the actions which are available related to the device. So for example, I can make the device speak. If I say, I don't know, if I say hello, I make the device speak. I can do as well some search. It will open automatically Google on the cell phone. I can as well open some specific applications. So here we see all the applications available in my cell phone, and I can open them from the DGLux5. So here is how we interact with the data. So here is with my cell phone, but it works the same way with any type of connected device which you connect with the technology. So now we're going to see how we can very fast create some visuals from this data. So there are different ways to do it. You can start from scratch. You can as well use some of the widgets existing. So I'm going to do a very fast example with the gauge already existing inside the system. So I'm going to pick up a few gauge. So that is this one, which is a gauge related to status. So I just drag and drop it to see it here. I'll take one like this, and I will take one with some kind of change of color like this. And I will try to connect my data to them. So about this one, I will try to have on this status view information on the screen. So here I have this Boolean information screen on here. So I'm going just to drag and drop it to this part. So this is the right part where you have the specificities of each items, which can be symbols, which can be some kind of predefined widgets, and you connect your parameters. So in this case, I'm going to connect the status screen on to this Boolean here. So up, so it turns automatically to false. And we see that in this specific board, we have two predefined color, whether it's on or off. So if I'm going to define this, I will say if it's off, I want it to be dark. And if it's on, I want it to be yellow. And so if I start turning on and off my screen, okay, we see that it's happening already. Okay, that's very good. Second thing that I would like, instead of having written status, to be written my screen is on or my screen is off. So for this, I do the same. I'm taking the status here, I'm bringing it to status here, and then it's opening this binding window. So this binding window, that's where I can configure the way I want the data to be communicated. So in this specific case, I will choose the data mapping Boolean. I will say if it's false, I want written screen is off, and otherwise I want screen is on. Okay, and now if I'm turning on, okay, we see that it's working properly. And a title, I can put screen status, for example, to see it appear right away. So that's a simple, very simple example of how you connect the data. Then label unit. So this, I would like to connect it with my battery level. So I'm going to click on this second widget here, and I'll connect my battery level information. So here there is what do I have? I can check quickly. So we have this value, which is set as 50 for now. So this is what I want to connect. So my battery level, I will drag and drop it and put it here. So very good, a value of 40. We have a minimum of 0, maximum of 100, which is okay. Label, so I will put percentage for the unit, and I will put battery level in percentage. I see that it's not very visible, so I can play a bit with the background here. I'll put a fill in the background. I will put, what will I put? I'll put some kind of, maybe some kind of dark blue like this, a dark blue color. I'll make it a bit transparent so that we see a bit better like this, a bit more. Hopla. What? I'll do a bit different, maybe up like this. So here I have the percentage of battery, and last one here on this sweep gauge, I want to connect the light level. So here again, I can check what parameters I have here available, and I'll just connect this to value. And so here we see that it's panicking a little bit because we have a minimum and maximum value of 100. So it's over the maximum value. So it goes outside of the range. So here I'm going just to configure this differently. I'll put 4000 at maximum value, which is basically the maximum value we get on light. So we see if I touch it, that it's changing. Okay, so it starts from -20 to 120. So this is a quick view on gauge. What can we do as well? We can do similar things with charts. So for this, you need to store an history of information. So this can be done through different ways, through a database, or through, in this specific case, it's done through ETSDB. So for this, you can use a widget already, or you can just take create a chart, and then you do the same thing, except you are going to use the small chart here to bring the data. So here up, I'm bringing the battery information, and I will have the evolution of the data over time in the battery with all the points. Then there are different options. You can easily go from one type of chart to another. You can have some column series, some area series. So all these things are available here. What you can do as well further on is as well generate some actions with the data. So for what I mean here is that this information, these actions which you can generate here, you can do it from the interface. So here I will show you a quick example. I created a few different widgets to interact with the phone, and for example, you can make the device tall, for example, here. Okay, how is this working? So concretely, I will not go into detail here, but you create the symbol, and inside the interface, when you have, so in this specific case, I have this button, make me talk, there is an action which I define, which makes that on click, it will generate, it will launch the action from my cell phone, speak, basically. So here I have the action speak, and I have to choose the text to be spoken. So that's here that I connect the text appearing in this with the text to use when making the device speak. So here's an example. I'm just going to go OK for it. So in this specific case, the way it's working is that you write basically what you want, and the device will pick it up. Here it is. You what can you do as well? You can connect the mobile location to a specific map. You can record the information. So here it's a bit different. It's when I click, it will launch the start peak recognition function. So I would say, hello, it is me, and the system records it. So these are a few examples of how it's working. So it's really simple. You don't need to be a coder to be able to start doing this type of thing. It's just drag and drop, configuration of actions, connection of these different things to create that. So very easily I created these few widgets. I created as well a few charts showing the evolution. So here we see the light level evolution over the last hours, as well as the battery level. So the chart system includes different flexibility. I can zoom over a specific period to see what's happening. I can click out. If I put it back to the light, I will see that immediately the charts start going up as well. Like I'm going to zoom like that here. And if I turn it down, it will give some smaller value as well. So all these are very easy to understand and very easy to start working with. So this is the technology we use at Sviteco. We create dashboard with it, and then we give you the control on what's happening, meaning you are not dependent of any company. You have the technology, you can adjust, you can edit your design, you can very fast react to the demand of your clients without redeveloping a system. So that's one of the advantage of the technology which we are using. So this was a short introduction of how data gets connected with the interface. In a later video, I will show you practically inside dashboard that it's working. I will show you as well how you can use external data. For example, some data which you don't have access to, but through API, you access it and you make it available through your visual. So thank you very much for having followed this video. Please ask questions. If you have some questions about our technology or our services, please ask them in the comments, and I'll be glad to answer you and give you more information. Thank you very much.